Hey, what's going on YouTube, and welcome to this week's episode of Tuesday Preppers, where we take a look at the in-game news for Final Fantasy Brave Exvius and see what kinds of killers and weapons and items that there are in the game that you can get right now to help you kind of get ready for that. This week is exciting because we have a new unit and a new banner, and it's Clash of Wills month, or Clash of Wills week, so that's super exciting for people who like Clash of Wills. I'm one of those people. And we're going to talk a little bit about the unit and the Clash of Wills fight, as well as some other events that are going on this week and some of the stuff that you might need to get ready for that. So we're going to start with Clash of Wills. If you take a look here, I'm going to go ahead and pop up the information for Clash of Wills that we know already. So it's the Moth of Unknown Origin, and if you look here on the screen, it actually says a little bit of what its origin is. It's a monster born as the result of cruel biological experiments. So that's its origin, is biological experiments. And there you go. And we know from the live stream that it is a Salachi Moth, an aquatic insect weak to fire, ice, and light. We also know this from the monthly bulletin, and it is confirmed, right there as well. Aquatic insect, fire, ice, and light. And then from the live stream, they also told us some additional information. That it uses magic attacks, inflicts paralysis and confusion, does a bunch of HP percentage fixed damage, and does extra damage to non-human units. So they recommend that you use the new unit who's going to be coming out on Thursday, which is exciting. If you take a look at the in-game news, there's also some additional information that the morale influencing skill is if you reduce your damage taken by physical or reducing damage taken or reduce damage taken or magic damage taken, and that's going to increase morale. So mitigation buffs are going to be increasing your morale this time, which is kind of nice. Now there's a new challenge option, party defense and spirit minus 25%, which is potentially very threatening, but we'll have to see how it goes. Yeah, pretty exciting. Salachi Moth. Awesome. It's like a fishy bug. It looks kind of cool. And so we're going to be preparing ourselves by getting some aquatic and some insect killer, or at least I'm going to be talking about how to get aquatic and insect killer. But that is not the only news that we have this week. So one thing, if you keep on scrolling down, is you can see the upgrades to the Celestite Crown of Will, the Diadem of Will, and they showed the paladins and the dancers and the prophets on stream, but they did not show the priests and priestesses. And it's basically just increased stats and better resistances all the way around. 3000 HP, 50% HP, and then a bunch of resistances, Nullify Stop, Nullify Charm. So some nice upgrades for the priest and priestesses Celestite Diadem of Will Plus. So that's kind of cool. Upgrades galore. We like upgrades. Now, like I said, that's not the only stuff that we have going on in the game right now. We also are going to be having Fighting Back Memories 2. And you might remember from a couple weeks ago, we talked about Fighting Back Memories the very first time, and I was really excited to wonder out loud, what is this event? Is it going to be a boss rush? Is it going to be daily challenges? What is it going to be? And it ended up just being a rerun of old events that the missions aren't reset on, but they do give you bonus quests to do for them. So it's worth it to go back in and redo them. Spend the 60 energy that it's going to take to do them all, probably. And get the rewards, because there's a good Lapis in there, and they also are going to be giving out Hydro Obnixis drops and Dark Matter from clearing the quest. So it's very worth it to go back in and redo it. You don't have to worry about the turn count missions or the KOs if you've already cleared all these trials. So just go in and have fun with it. Take whatever unit you want. Take your best team and blow it up on turn 1. Take a meteor user, take a 2B, whatever you want. Most of these are just going to fall apart right in front of you. Have fun with it, it's just a chance to get some bonus Lapis, which is kind of nice. The other thing that's going on is that the story is continuing, and so we're getting some Lapis from stories, and then introducing us to some new characters, Snavlika and Ridar, which is kind of cool. I think they look great. So we'll learn more about the story of the game, and that's always fun to get more Lapis. So before we dive into the killers, I want to talk a little bit about the unit, and that is right here. Her name is Master Machinist Abigail. I'm going to go ahead and put make this a little bit easier for you to read here. There we go. There's Abigail. She comes with a 28k step up for you to get this vision card. We'll talk about the vision card in just a second. as well as her normal step up with the tokens and stuff like that. And here she is looking great. She's got magic tank, buffer, and debuffer tags, which is awesome. It gives her lots of flexibility. She's got a nice SLB, it sounds like. They did mention on the live stream, that she's at 85% mitigations, which is super good, finally. And we talked to her about her STMR and TMR on the beige carpet review, so there's that. Not a whole lot of new information about her specifically. But if we take a look at the vision cards that come with her, here's the vision card that's come. There's hers. It's like not that exciting, right? But then this one, first of all, the art on it is fantastic. Charlotte's a really cool character, and this art's really cool. And then the abilities on it, 100% spirit and spirit 500 flat, just given to you, right? And then 200% true double hand spirit and guts, and big resistances to everybody who's an FFBE unit. Not to mention that it just comes with 2000 HP and 120 spirit. So I feel like this is not like the best thing ever, but if you happen to have skipped the Midnight Revelers card or don't have Jecht's card, then this is a very nice pickup for like magic tanks and spirit based units. So I'm going to be going for this card and hopefully picking up an Abigail along the way, hoping to get her to EX2 so I can use her in Clash of Wills. I don't really know 100% what my team is going to be going into it yet, but if I can get her, she's going to be on it, because I don't have a lot of the other really good magic tank options like Cecil or Ash or things like that, because you don't want to bring Chow, so who else are you going to bring, right? So I better get my hands on Abigail here. So there you go. So as far as what killers are going to need, we talked a lot about insects and aquatics. There's not a ton to grab for either of those. So like for aquatics, there's Aquan Eater Sense that you can get from Catastrophe. In order to get Aquan Eater Sense, you just have to beat Catastrophe within 15 turns. And doing that is not terribly difficult. It is a little difficult to do if you're going to be trying to get the 5 unit clear in as well. I'm going to show you a team that can do it. But it did end up I did this on stream tonight with this team, and ended up using 6 units instead of 5, but we got it cleared in 11 turns. I'll show you the team that we used. I'm not going to show the clear because it's kind of boring. As long as your magic tank has 400% earth resist, and your provoker has death immunity, like the trial is very little damage to you. It's just very, very bulky and hard to deal damage to. So anyway, Aquan Eater Sense from Catastrophe. There you go. But you can also farm up Aquan Killer from Ollie from friend points. And if you've gone in and beaten Octomammoth, you can get the recipe for making Aquan Killer pluses and make as many of those as you want. So it's very easy now to get Aquan Eater, because you can get as many Aquan Killers as you want from friend points. So that's kind of cool. Definitely go ahead and do that. And I'll show you the team for Catastrophe in just a moment. And then, or the team I used anyway. And then insects. Insects, there's a lot more. So you can get Insect Eater Sense from Death Machine, which is, at this point not too terribly difficult, especially with the near units or even with Esther. So definitely pick that up. Insect Buster's another one that's like easy to pick up with Scorn of the Demon Chimera. Take an Evoker and just blow it up on turn 1. A modern Evoker should be just fine. Bug Killer Plus you can get from Scorn of the Marching Beasts. Gloomwing Advance has a recipe for Bug Killer Plus. You can get Bug Killer just to drop off of Gloomwing, and then make as many as you want. It just takes some time to do it. So definitely, going in and doing some 12 types trials to get you ready for this, but not necessarily. You could do Insect Buster from Scorn of the Demon Chimera. It's definitely there. And that'll help you get ready for Salachi-Moth, hopefully. So like I said, for Aquatic Killer or Aquan Eater Sense from Catastrophe, here's the team that I ended up taking. And just to give you a general idea of what could work, I took a Golbez, my Golbez. I don't have Ash, so I didn't bring Ash. Ash you would want to use here for her big Fairy Killer buff, but I don't have Ash. I tried bringing, instead of bringing Tsukiko, I tried bringing Blue Mage Fina with her new Spirit Killer buff, but she just wasn't contributing any damage really to the party, and I wasn't doing quite enough to get it within 15 turns with just 5 players. And then even still, I tried adding a 6th player, and we just weren't dealing quite enough damage with just that 160 AoE buff. So it really wasn't working for me. and I wanted it to work, but it wasn't. So if you had a better magic tank, right? If you had not that Chow's bad at tanking, if you had Ash, putting Ash in where Chow is, you'd do just fine. But honestly, you know, just gearing for normal Golbez stuff with Spirit Eater Sense and Dazzling Demoness, and he's going to do just fine. Kuja was just geared with immunity and death immunity and provoke, and he spent the whole time in this form. Tsukiko just geared for normal Tsukiko stuff, you know. As long as she's got her evocation damage, she's pretty good to go. And then she just chained her chaining skills and, you know, Shining Karmic Retribution and all that stuff. Chow, just honestly, we geared him as close to 400 earth resistance as we could without going over. That way he could actually counter some attacks and help fill MP and HP and stuff like that. Just to help Golbez do his thing a little easier. And then a 2B, you know, geared for Fairy Killer and LB damage and True Double Hand, and that's really it. And honestly, you take very little damage. That team will do it. I ended up bringing 2 2Bs and a Golbez because I didn't have a Fairy Killer buff on my party, and we did just fine. We got it in 11 turns. So could you do better with an Ash? Absolutely. I don't have one, and none of my friends were showing up with theirs that had been built. And so there you go. So, you know, lots of stuff you can get ready for. Clash of Wills is going to be fun. I'm going to be pulling for the new unit on Thursday. So I hope you can come out and watch and have fun with that. And we'll see how we do, and then work through the story and do some Clash of Wills and have a good time with a new content night on Thursday. Until then, though, we'll see you around, and hopefully you're good to each other and take good care and stay warm, dry, and well-fed and all the things that you need to be. And yeah, we'll see you around. Have a good one.